We are here for another episode of Abby's Window, and obviously a very sad um, time, but we're here for one another. Um, we're here with each other to celebrate the memory of Bray Wyatt and talk about some moments and talk about the impact that he made on our lives. So want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. We got a lot of people here, so I can't go name by name, but just know we greatly appreciate you being here. And please know that this is a safe space. Please know that you have support here. So let me bring everyone on the screen. We've got Nicole with us. Nicole, thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you're doing well. We've got Brittany K. Brittany, thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you're doing okay as well, or as well as we can be right now. Joe's in the house. Joe, loving the hat, man. That thing beat like all kinds of records for arrival after order.
Speed mail, man. I got it in like 2 days. Yeah. I had to do it. Even that little bit of money that's going to his family and stuff like that from it. I was happy to do it. So, and besides, it hides my gray hair well, so it has a dual purpose.
And we've got Chris and Jody here. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing okay, considered.
Yeah.
Probably. It's been all of us have had moments where we feel like we're okay, and then we see something or we hear something and kind of just lose it again.
Yeah.
I had a tweet this morning that I saw first thing when I woke up this morning that just killed me. So I'm sure there will be lots of tears shed here today.
Yep. But that's okay. That's okay. We're here to.
Will be some laughter too, because we've got a funny thing to show you guys.
Yeah.
that Chris found, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good laugh. I really needed that laugh watching that video. So that was awesome. Hopefully you all will enjoy it. And I mean, honestly, Jody, you brought up a good point. You may see some tears. You may hear some emotion, and that's perfectly okay. We know that all of you have probably been feeling the same way. And it's okay to let it out. It's okay to be emotional. And that's perfectly fine. And like I said earlier, you're in a safe place. So just know that. Just know that you have support here. You've got people here who care. Let's we'll get started. I guess we're going to get started with the funny. We'll get started with the video clip to hopefully bring
brighten
us
the mood a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brighten it up just a little bit. But here we go.
Well, you missed the best part when he flips off the two nurses.
I can't believe that was Edge. I took me a couple seconds to look, and I'm like, "That's Edge."
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
that freaking wig was just too. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I remember seeing that, and I just cracked up so much.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
That's so funny.
That was
I've never seen it before, and he said, and you were like, "I found this. You got to watch it. It's really funny."
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember watching the Agent Christian show, but I don't remember that episode. I don't know how I missed it.
He appeared on it a couple of times. It wasn't just that
I know the one where
video. He was on other things too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the story time. The Goldilocks.
Story time with Goldilocks. That was brilliant.
So I hope that made you guys smile just a little bit, because he was a genuinely funny person.
Oh, yeah.
He was very funny in person too. He was just he had a great sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an awesome video. I needed that laugh and to lighten the mood a little bit. So yeah, thank you.
he would want to celebrate his life and laugh at the funny moments and remember those.
That's right.
Like that little video that Jason Baker posted of him in that chair at Tom Savini's house. Like,
oh my God, yeah,
the
rolling chair.
Great.
Even the tribute video WWE posted, in the middle of crying during it, there were a few parts where you laugh because funny stuff. And
he was just a really funny guy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because the gimmicks he did were far from that. And so, but yeah, everybody that's the one thing. Everyone that you heard talk about him these past few days has always been nothing but like Adam Pearce saying he would be the guy to come over and give you a big hug right when you walked into the room. And, and that's what you heard. You heard that from just about everyone. And that's really, it's a testament to the man. I mean, if everybody remembers him like that, then obviously he was a good dude. And that's what he's going to be remembered for. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. I think that's a good place to start too. I want to throw this question out to the chat, but also we'll start with Nicole and then go Brittany, Joe, and Chris and Jody. But when were you first introduced to Bray Wyatt, and what were your first impressions of his style and his approach to wrestling? We'll start with Nicole.
I remember my brother and my friend Christian coming to me and saying when he was just starting, when he was in NXT, and I remember them both telling me, Nicole, you got to check this group out. They're called the Wyatt family. You would like them a lot. And that was the part the part of my life where I stopped watching wrestling because I felt like I didn't have that love that I had, that same kind of love when I was a kid. But then when they told me about the Wyatt family and I recognized who the Bray Wyatt was, I'm like, he looks familiar. And James says, yeah, that he used to be Husky Harris. I'm like, that ain't Husky Harris no more. This is completely different character. This is the most insane. And I didn't like them. I loved them. They were an unstoppable team, and I just couldn't stop. I loved every second of it, from them teaming up together when it was just Harper and Rowan, and them leaving NXT. That was a really good the promo that he cut when he says time is on my side. That was just mind blowing. And then when he came to NXT and it came to WWE to beat up my favorite wrestler, which was Kane, I'm like, oh shit. Kane, because Kane was my current favorite. But then it transitioned to Bray Wyatt being my current favorite. It was just I'm blown away, not only by this faction, just the storytelling, but just he truly was, what's the right word for it? He truly was not only a great storyteller, but he was just a humble human being to everyone around him. Everyone. Whenever we were at a meet and greet, he didn't make you feel little. He made you feel like you were part of him, like you were his neighbor. He made you feel comfortable, and that was also what was so unique about him. And it sucks that he's gone to his new home. I'm still hurting, but I know eventually I'll be okay, because he made me love wrestling again when I watched him in NXT along with Harper and Rowan. They brought my love for wrestling back. And in honor of him, I'm going to keep watching WWE, because that's what he would want. He would want us to keep going. He wants us to keep going, So that's what made me become a fan of Bray Wyatt. He was such a
family.
Yeah, exactly. He treated everybody like family. He, like I said before, he treated everybody with like he put him on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why until I'm 100 years old, I'm going to be putting him and all the Wyatt family up on a pedestal, because not only because they brought my love for wrestling again, and he saved my life. I was one of the people he saved, along with everybody here, everyone in the chat. He like I said on Facebook, not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear fedora hats and Hawaiian shirts and white khaki pants and snakeskin boots and a long ass beard and sheet masks. So
some of them tell you to run,
and then he tells you to run. That's my hero. And then he became my friend. For him to include me in his circle was also a blessing. He didn't have to do that, but that's how humble of a man he was.
Yeah.
To everyone. So that was what made me introduce who Bray Wyatt was.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Nicole. Brittany, coming to you now, same question. When were you first introduced to Bray, and what were your initial thoughts?
I'd have to say kind of what Eric said. Whenever he was in NXT is when I discovered him, and then I looked him up and started watching matches from FCW and all of his older stuff when he had like the blonde hair. Yeah, he was just remarkable. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm kind of short-winded here. I don't want to cry. If I talk too long, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, he's just remarkable. And then we came over onto the main roster, and I was really intrigued. And then in 2016, I met him for the first time. Damn, why do I keep crying?
It's okay.
And you know how much we meant to him too.
Yeah, he's
It's
just
okay.
he welcomed me, with wide arms when I first met him, and it just hurts so much because he included me in his family. I, to mail him some, Christmas gifts throughout the years, and he just loved me so damn much. I just refuse to believe that it's real.
I think we're all kind of in that state of denial that,
Yeah.
And I'll share this to you. One of the things that JoJo's mom said to me is that it just feels like a nightmare. Like, I think we're all expecting at some point for Bray to jump out and go, "Gotcha." And, it's going to take a while to sink in that he's not going to do that.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, when you look at it from a clinical standpoint and they talk about the stages of grief, you have the anger, you have the denial, and I think that's where a lot of people are. It's just so difficult to accept and believe. Joe, I'll come to you next, and then we'll go to Chris and Jody.
Oh wow! The first time I saw him, I'm pretty sure it was NXT. Husky Harris, of course, and the whole thing with CM Punk. I think I remember that. That's probably where I know I didn't see him in FCW until afterward. And then the vignettes for the Wyatt family is what got me, because huge horror fan. I love the movie Cape Fear. And then when I saw him, Nicole alluded to singing that song, and that was what, he sang that in Cape Fear. So hooked me pretty much. I knew when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is a little Cape Fear, a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm kind of digging this. And then just watched where it went from there, and I loved it. They were just these big guys that, again, you would expect to see in a horror movie that took place in some outback little town somewhere in Texas or wherever it was. And that's essentially what it was. Two very quiet big men that were with him, and he was the leader. And so I was hooked, and I followed him all through after that. And I mean, the story is pretty well said by now, but for those of you who haven't heard it, I'll say it again. Our channel wouldn't be here, would not be here if it weren't for Bray Wyatt. And The reason being is because I met Jeff because of the fact that I stopped watching wrestling when Bray and that group left. When they were gone, when he was done with the Matt Hardy stuff and he went away, I was done. I was mad. I was like, screw this. I'm not watching this anymore. And I stopped and I got away from it. But I would literally go on Google daily and I'd look him up, Bray Wyatt, just to see if I saw anything, looking at his social media, Instagram, all that kind of stuff I got a hint about what was going on. And then finally you saw the Dollhouse stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is him. No doubt in my mind, this is him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty excited. And then Jeff and I met in a chat for wrestling. And the rest is history. It's where we met everybody else in that same chat. Jody was in there. Jesse was in there. But the insiders wouldn't exist. We absolutely wouldn't exist. I had that phone or that Jeff had me on a podcast that he was doing. Him and I started talking, and Bray was the subject of a lot of that chat. So we owe this channel to Bray Wyatt because we wouldn't be here, period. And that's how important the man was to us. I convinced myself and I convinced more so my wife that I am getting my first tattoo. I have never had one, and it's going to be that right there, just like the wrestlers are getting and stuff now. And and it's my wife was like, well, I'm pretty happy about that because the guy seemed like a very good person, and that's a good thing to represent. She said, as opposed to getting a hockey mask from a serial killer that killed thousands of people on your arm. So she was okay with that. But yeah, I'll never forget him. I have a shelf next to me on the left here with nothing but Bray Wyatt merch. And so I went, the first year he came out as the Fiend, I wore the Fiend mask and I had the lantern, all that stuff to a buddy's Halloween party. It's a big part of my life, just as other things that I enjoy are. And I am really sad that I wasn't able to meet him. Really sad, and I'll regret that. I was supposed to go in Albany, and unfortunately, some medical stuff came up, and I couldn't drive that 3.5 hour or whatever it is drive because of it, and it sucks. Because I won't ever get that opportunity, but I am glad I can hear everybody talk about him through here, and the stories that you guys tell and Jeff tells and stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's what he as a man meant to me.
That was the meet and greet that me and Brittany literally walked a mile in the snow to get back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I drove 3.5 miles from Toms River, New Jersey, all the way to Albany. Mm-hmm. It was worth the travel. It was worth it because I got to see you guys. I got to see him. It was worth it. I didn't care how bad the road was with the snow. What matters is that I got to be with my Firefly family. Mm-hmm. That's also what I loved about him, is that he brought us all together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get to Chris and Jody. Bruno, thank you for the super chat. Please know we don't expect them, but any super chats that we get will be donated to his family. Just letting all of you know. Bruno says, rest in peace, my hero. If you're looking for me, I'm not hard to find. You just have to look at the sky. All right. Chris and Jody, we'll go to you guys.
So my first memory is the theme here, Follow With Me Too. I had quit watching wrestling for a few years, and I decided to pick it back up one day, just like, let me see what's going on. I hadn't watched it for a few years, and it was about the time I watched Raw and caught some of the vignettes for the Wyatt family before they debuted. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great time for me to get back into wrestling. I love them. I can't wait to see these guys. They look great. And as soon as they showed up on Raw, I was hooked from the very minute. Became my favorite wrestler and watched them ever since.
Yeah. So Chris obviously has, you started watching wrestling when you were a kid, and I knew of like some of the bigger characters like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, but because my brother used to watch wrestling, but I never really got into it until Chris and I started dating. And the first match I ever saw was Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy in the Ultimate Deletion match. So that's how new I am to watching wrestling. I don't know anything from before that. Obviously, I've watched, some things from before that, but I was like, I like these guys. I'm sticking with these guys. And then they left, and Bray left, and when he started to come back with all the Firefly Funhouse stuff, in 2019, like that was a really tough year for us as a family. My mom was battling breast cancer 600 miles away. Every time we feel like we got on our feet, something else knocked us back. You got laid off from your job, and it was just one thing after another. And, Bray kind of kept us smiling. He gave us something to laugh about, something to smile about, kind of through all that. And I wrote all of it down in a letter, and I said, look, I can 100% guarantee that I would not still be here breathing on this earth without you. So, I was one of the people that he literally saved my life as well. And I was determined that I was going to meet him and give him this big, long 4-page letter. And I did. I met him in January 2020 for the first time, and right before the pandemic, and gave him this big, long letter. Could barely speak. He had to be the one. He was actually the one that asked me if I wanted to take a picture with him, because I was at a loss for words. That ended up going back to our channel, that Jeff and Joe asked me to come on and talk about my experience meeting him and what that was like. And I keep hearing the wind chime, and it's making me smile, because I feel like it's for him. I feel like it's for everything. But
it's right there.
Yeah, our channel, and specifically this show, would not exist without Bray. And after that interview, we kind of just decided that we were going to do this weekly show about Bray, and we kept it going after he got released for 15 months, which is not the easiest thing to do. And we're determined to keep it going in his absence. It's something that I really would like to do, is to keep the show going. I think that's what he would want me to do and want us to do, because we've become a family. And I think it's important to keep bringing family together and leaning on each other. So, obviously it's going to have to shift focus a little bit. I do still want to keep him as a big part of the show. But I think I would like to, going forward, maybe start talking about other wrestlers that are similar to Bray, doing similar things that have that dark spark that he had. And storylines that really catch our eye, and kind of dig into those a little bit. But the show, all of you guys, we wouldn't be family without Bray.
Absolutely right. Thank all of you for sharing. I just want to.
We have 122 people in this chat right now.
I know. So hopefully everyone
every second.
It keeps going up. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. I want to. I don't often share, but I feel like I need to share, and I'm gonna try my best to get through this as best I can. But initially, I saw Bray in NXT, and had to go back and check out all the FCW stuff. Just from the very start all the way up to where we were, and then started seeing the vignettes and everything for Raw, and I was immediately hooked. Just his way with words, the way he carried himself, and kind of the supernatural mystique was really drew me in. And to go on to Joe and Jody's point, you talk about, I know a lot of people have talked about him saving their lives. He saved mine as well. I was going through a really difficult time in my life in 2019, going through a divorce and a bunch of other stuff, and just was struggling. And I happened to stumble upon a promo, and I hadn't watched wrestling in a while. Like it had been a while, and stumbled across a promo, and I was like, man, I got to see more. So I just kept looking, and then I found, places that did watch alongs, and I was like, okay, let me go here, let me try this out, and then, I ended up meeting Joe, and then we ended up meeting Jody, and then we meet C Wrestling and Tazzy, and I'm going to leave out a bunch of people, Jesse, and so many others, and I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Sorry.
Okay.
It's okay.
I felt like I had lost everything, but I gained family, and that means a lot. So, sorry. Guess my next question is, and I'll start with Joe. What's a thought about Bray? Something that he did, or just a comment that he made, that instantly brings a smile to your face?
Oh wow. Oh jeez. I mean, there wasn't much I didn't like that I saw that he would do. Obviously, Funhouse Bray is going to be the one. I grew up watching Mister Rogers, so when I saw this, I'm like, this cat's going to do a demented Mister Rogers show, and I'm like, really? And I'm sitting there, and I'll never forget my daughter, my youngest doesn't really watch wrestling. I took her to one and she loved it, but she doesn't watch. And she came out and she heard the theme song and she saw him come out and she's like, he's so nice. And she said, look at this guy. He's so nice. And then all of a sudden she sees the puppets, and then she sees Abby, and then all of a sudden it just turns completely around dark. And she's like,
Oh,
that's really creepy. But yeah, man, I don't think I laughed so hard seeing something, because it was just so out of the ordinary from what he did, the Muscle Man thing. Oh my God. From those things he was doing, and then all of a sudden he does that. It was like a complete 360, and how he just turned it completely around. That, and then of course the match with Cena. Going back and doing this is your life, John, and then when he's in the back pretending to be Hulk Hogan and lifting the weights, and he's like, brother, and he's imitating Hogan, and then Cena's out in that ring with him, ruthless aggression. Oh my God! And then of course Vince, this is good shit. That was fantastic.
That was monumental for our
That was fantastic.
Good shit.
That, people looked at that and were confused afterwards and stuff like that. We ourselves had to go watch that 3 or 4 times, because you just didn't kind of know, like, what the hell? What, even Titus O'Neil said it. Nobody really knew
what I just saw.
But when you go back and you watch that now, you see how brilliant that was, and that came from him working with John and going back and saying, hey, we're going to go back and we're going to kind of make fun of your, bring up stuff in your past that you did that were ridiculous. And it was. Yeah. And then Bray imitating Eric Bischoff. Oh, my God.
That was my favorite part of that.
That was absolute. Wearing the leather jacket in the ring with the big smile on his face, going, oh my God. But yeah, see, and that's what makes him just, to me, one of my all-time favorites. Because, okay, I'm a huge Undertaker fan, but Undertaker was Undertaker. Right. Yes, he switched into motorcycle Undertaker a little bit, and he was a little different. But he still was just that intimidating dude all the time. Mm-hmm. Bray could go from humor to horror. Mm-hmm. And it's not hard, it's in a snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty amazing. You usually can't, even actors, like, it's hard for them to go from funny to completely scary in a snap like that. And this guy could do that. And that's pretty amazing. And it's a damn shame that we're never going to see that thing he was working with Jason Baker, because I think that would have been brilliant. Absolutely. He could have been an actor if he wanted to, because he was able to do this kind of thing. And it's not easy. So, but yeah, the Funhouse thing, I think, was probably the fun, that, and alongside with the stuff with Matt Hardy, of course, because that always got a laugh from me, even when Matt was doing that stuff before he did it with Bray. But yeah, those were the two things I think that probably brought laughter to me when I watched it.
Yeah.
We were watching one of those last night when Bray and Matt were feuding. And they were going back and forth, and I love that part in that where Matt calls him the consumer of terrestrial entities.
Oh man, you gotta love Matt Hardy, dude. He's another one, man. He goes from like that to the other stuff in like seconds too. Yeah,
so good. Negan Mox, thank you for the super chat. Saying, I've been on and off crying these last couple of days. I'm going to miss him so much. I feel like the world stopped making sense. I've seen this thing since he passed as well, such as Moss. So, yeah. Let's go to Chris and Jody next.
What was the question again?
A moment that makes you smile.
Okay.
Yeah, a moment, something that he did, or a moment that makes you smile.
Brittany will relate to me on this one because she was there. Brittany was at a meet and greet in New Jersey, and I was at a Caleb concert in Ohio. And she calls me that morning, and she goes, "Hey, Bray wants to talk." And that whole conversation, the end of it, he just said, I told him that he'd always be my number one. He goes, "Not today." And that, thinking about that, it'll always make me laugh, because that was something that came up later. The next time that I met him, he was asking me how long of a drive it was to get to Toledo, and I said, "Well, I was in Fort Wayne last for a concert, so that was like halfway." And he goes, "Which concert do you go to?" And I just looked at him and goes, "I don't know why I asked." So yeah, that one will stick out there all the time.
Let's see here. All right, Brittany.
Man, there's so much stuff I could even like Jody said, her memory. When I called her and I said, "Jody, Bray wants to talk to you," she you were so silent for a minute. Do you remember that? And I was like, "Jody."
Yeah. I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?"
And I have another favorite moment from that day too. There's just everything about him I love. But my mom was waiting down in the lobby because we were talking to IRS. He was down there waiting for his Uber. So I was like hanging out with him, talking to him until he got in the Uber. Taylor came down, took my pictures with him. I'm waiting for Wyndham, right? So I go up to the hotel room to get the portable charger. And I get on the elevator thinking, wow, wouldn't it be really weird if Wyndham got on the elevator with me? Tell me why the elevator stopped on the second floor and he gets on the elevator. So my mom, the elevator doors open and she turns around, right? And she's like, and I'm getting off the elevator with Wyndham, and she's like, what the hell's going on? It was like the greatest thing ever. And then the same day, actually, he was going to the bathroom, but so he had to walk up this like set of stairs. And as he was walking up the set of stairs, he trips going up the stairs.
Oh no.
Just like stupid, little things like that I always cherish, and like he always supported my art, and yeah, it's crazy.
Hanzo, thank you, Brittany. Hanzo saying, I'm grateful for the friendship I had with him. And Brittany, the little messages, the texts, the pranks he'd pull on me, calling me Mr. Grumpy, telling Britt, let's April Fool. Love you, boy.
Oh, that's a whole other story. I don't know if now's a good time to share that, but it's very brief. So one time Wyndham was like, you should prank him and tell him that I got fired. So I texted Hanzo, right? And I said, oh, Wyndham got fired. And I was like dead serious. And then I called him. He's like, what do you mean he got fired? And I was like, he got fired. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, hi, April Fools. He was so pissed. He's like, I hate you so much. Yeah, he said he wanted to get him back for that at WrestleMania next year, and I was like, I don't know how you're going to get him back for that. I'm like, he's very smart. You're not going to prank him.
Yeah, he that's something I'll always remember about him too. Like, he had the most insane memory. Like, he remembered everything. Like, the first. Except, oh my gosh. And I will never forget the look on his face. So he remembered everything. The second time I spoke to him was that video chat. And that was 9 months after I met him for the first time. And just based on my name, he knew exactly who I was. And when we met him in Albany, I was talking to him about coming on the show and stuff like that. And he mentioned, he said, you live in Michigan, right? And I said, no, Indiana. And the look on his face, because he forgot what state I lived in, he was so mad at himself. Like, he just was like, oh, like, he should have known that. And I'm like, yeah. And, he said things that I'm like, how the hell do you remember that? I remember everything. He had the most insane memory of anybody I've ever met. Like, he just remembered everything about everybody.
So I'm gonna. There are other things that he did that made me smile and made me laugh, but I have to share the first words that he said to me at the meet and greet. Because that will forever replay in my mind over and over again.
That was funny.
So I'm walking up to shake his hand and meet him. He's like, "Holy shit, you're big, dude." and I'm trying to think of what to say. I'm a little bit nervous because this dude is like, he's an icon to me, and I'm thinking of what to say, and he just quickly just disarmed me, and it was laughter, and that was such a cool moment. So but yeah. And then we started talking about football, and we started talking about Clemson and all that. It was just a cool moment. So Nicole, a moment that makes you smile.
There were a lot of moments. I mean, I don't have a favorite because all of them were beautiful moments. But if I had to think of one, it was actually, I have a few, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The first one was actually when I met him for the first time, and he was feuding with Roman Reigns. And I remember in his promo, he was talking about how him and Roman Reigns, that Roman Reigns was the yin to his yang. He would say, I'm the yin to your yang. I'm the darkness to your light. So I drew out a picture of them within inside the yin yang. And I've drawn a lot of pictures with him. I've been a fan of him since 2013. So I drew a lot of pictures within 2 years of me being a fan of his. And that was the first picture that he reposted on Twitter. And I cried so much. Like, you would have, the average person would think I'm mad because a wrestler made me smile. But it was, to me, it was such a beautiful thing. And then I found out he was going to be in Brooklyn. And that's obviously not that far from where I am. I was like, I'm going to meet him. And I worked a lot of hours to make sure I had enough to buy a ticket to go see him. And when I saw him, I was shaking. And the woman that was taking care of the line, she was like, are you okay? I was like, Bray Wyatt's just my favorite. I'm just a little nervous. And he's like, and she just turns around and says, don't worry. He's very nice. And she was right. Because the second I got up to him, and Julie, Brittany, the girl that also draws, she was in front of me. So as I'm meeting him, she's taking photos of me interacting with him, which I thought was the most really thoughtful thing that she did. But when I went to go see him, I went for a handshake. He got up from his chair and he says, I know who you are. You do the yin yang. And he went like this. He gave me a hug and I wanted to cry because he knew I never met him. We never met ever before that. And the fact that he knew who I was based on that drawing, it made me feel special. Mm-hmm. It made me feel special. And then the second favorite memory was when I first met you, Brittany, when it was in Queens, when I met him the second time. And that's that photo I have up there of me meeting him. And I drew that warrior photo of him. Yeah. And I saw him, how he was mesmerized by how this drawing looked. He's like, I'm going to steal all this. He's like, I'm going to end up stealing all this. I'm like, please do. I'm like, you have my permission, please. And then he says, this is going in my man room. I'm guessing like he has his own like section where he keeps all the art. He says, this is going in my man room. He's like, this is crazy. No one's ever seen all my tattoos. I drew all the tattoos. And he says, it's crazy that not many people have seen my tattoos. That is cool as hell, he said. Mm-hmm. And he turned around and he said, I miss you guys. Because I think this was before he became, like when he introduced us to the Firefly Funhouse stories, I believe so. I think that's what it was. Or it was after he teamed up with Matt Hardy in the Deleters of Worlds. Then the third favorite moment of mine of his was the last time I saw him in Albany. And he was so happy to see me. Mm-hmm. And I remember, he when I gave him a hug, I told him, how are you? And he says, I'm good. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sweaty. I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sweaty. I'm like, Wyndham, you're human. It's okay. It's no big deal. We all sweat.
Like, I don't care.
So I asked him how he was. And then he says, this is right after he got released. So he says, I'm done. It took me a while to get over the release. So I was done being angry. And I told him, I don't blame you. And then I gave him a bracelet that had Brody Lee with the angel wings going to heaven and the three of them watching him go up. I had that. I had second thoughts because I didn't want him to get sad when I wanted to give this to him, but I knew this would mean something to him because Brody was his brother from another mother. And I told him, I'm sure Brody is looking down at you right now, seeing that you have evolved into something great. I'm sure he's proud of you. And then he turned around and he told me, you made me proud. And then he gave me a hug and that was it. The fact that he included me in his circle and not only considering me as his Firefly, but as his friend, it means a lot to me. I'm not taking his death very well and I'm trying to be as strong as I can. I'm trying to be strong. I keep telling myself that I'm going to be strong for him. But the second I feel I have that knot in my stomach, I feel like I'm broken. that I keep telling myself, he's okay now. He wouldn't want me to be sad every day. He would want me to keep going forward. So, he would want me to keep going forward. So those are the memories that I will cherish until I'm 100 years old. I'll be telling my grandchildren about these stories. I'll be telling my kids, my grandkids, about how great of a man Bray Wyatt was, and how he was so nice to me. He was so supportive of me with my artwork, because I drew him so many times, because he like I said earlier, he saved my life when I was in a bad state. When I was in a very bad state, hanging out with the wrong people and thinking that they loved me when they truly didn't. But meanwhile, people from far away, like you guys, actually do give a shit, and you rarely come across people like Wyndham. I rarely come across people like that, because most people in this world suck. So to know that I have gotten to know Wyndham, not only as a wrestler, but as a human being, I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful. And I'm grateful for all of you, that you are my friends. I didn't have that many friends growing up, that would talk about wrestling. A lot of them would talk about the Backstreet Boys, and I didn't give a shit about the Backstreet Boys. I wanted to talk about The Undertaker throwing Mick Foley off the fucking cell. I wanted to talk about how Kane electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles. I wanted to talk about how Stone Cold stunned Stephanie McMahon. I want to talk about those. I don't give a shit about the Backstreet Boys. Who cares? I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. I had to make myself laugh. I'm sorry, because I'm serious. I'm not taking his death very well. I'm trying to be strong. What?
It's important. I feel like that's why it's important to keep this show going, so that not just that we have a chance to come together and rely on each other and cry with each other and laugh with each other.
We have to.
It's also,
because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna lose my mind, and I have to laugh about it. I have to smile to know that he is still with us, even though he's not physically here, but he is here.
Yeah,
he is here.
Another reason I wanted to keep it going too is that 20 years from now, his kids might want to know him and things about him. And I hope that they're able to come to our channel and our shows and see how much we love and what a wonderful man he was and how special he was. So that's another reason I want to keep it going, so that people can see that. People that didn't know him, or people that did know him and wanted to know more, that they have a safe space to go to. That was, we pride ourselves on always being positive, and Joe talks about that a lot. Like, we are a positive channel. We love each other. And, look, there's 145 people in here right now, and they're all our family. And they're all people that love Bray just as much as we do, and, appreciate what he did for wrestling. And, we definitely, that's another reason why I want this to continue, because we're a family. And families need to come together and grieve with each other.
Yeah. 150 people just sitting down.
You said it right there.
Yeah,
Deanna, your mouth to God's ears.
For the super chat. The greatest gift Wyndham gave us was each other. Thank you for that.
Amen.
So I figure my last question, and then we have a lot of art to get to.
I can't wait to see the artwork everyone did.
Yeah. But my last question, and I'll start with Chris and Jody. What does it mean to you to be a Firefly?
It's just a family. I mean, family doesn't always have to be your blood. And I'm closer to some of my Fireflies friends than I am my own family. My brother doesn't speak to me anymore. So I got two sisters right here that I can talk to and text whenever I want to. And, that I've been able to meet up with and wrap my arms around. I got two sisters right there. and I got 2 brothers right here too. I've got a wonderful husband, and all you people out there, you know, we have been talking about this for a couple of days, that I think we should have like an annual meetup so that we can physically come together and, you know, laugh about some of the things that Bray did. And, you know, I have, and that was something that Bray did too. He called people his family. He called the Fireflies his family, you know, his brothers and his sisters. So, you know, that's what it means to be a Firefly. It means that we're brothers and sisters to each other, because he was, you know, he called everybody that, brothers and sisters.
And to me, it means, you know, a firefly, if you think about it in its basic form, what a firefly is, it's, you know, it's a light in the darkness. You see fireflies at night when it's dark out, and they light up, and that's how you see them. So to me, it's, you know, it's being a light in a very dark world. This is, you know, there's so much darkness in the world, and it needs all the light to get. And Bray was such a good example, good role model, and, you know, he was such a positive person. And, you know, and as we can see with everybody, all the things that people are saying, like, and everyone had such good things to say about him. He's such, you know, always positive, always positive. And so I think that's a good example for us. We can be that light to the world in the darkness and spread that positivity, especially in the wrestling world that could desperately need it.
I remember something he said to me too, in Albany when I was talking to him, and I had we were talking about him coming on Abby's, and I remember him specifically saying, he goes, "Well, I have a story to tell." And after that, he said, "You know, rest assured, I'm 100% gonna come on Abby's." But that will always stick with me, that he knew the big picture. He knew where he wanted this to go, and we were the people putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But he had an overall message to tell, and I think it's our job as Fireflies to keep that going.
Yeah. Joe, what does it mean to you to be a Firefly?
Firefly's a light in the darkness. The perfect ending to that tribute show was the lantern in the middle of the ring. They couldn't have ended that any better.
Oh, that broke my heart.
That's what he said he was, and that's what we need as wrestling fans and as people. Listen, I say it over and over. I'm a proud nerd, geek, whatever you want to call me. One of the lines I'll never forget from a Star Wars film is Luke Skywalker saying to his sister, "He's never really gone." And he was talking about, you know, of course, Leia married to Han Solo, and Han Solo died, and that's, he's never really gone. He's going to live on in everyone. All the people that were his fans, he's never really gone. And the way that you go forward from that, and this is my solemn vow as a person who co-started this show, I don't give a damn if we never become, you know, a channel that has 50,000. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
The only thing that I want is I want to be a light in the darkness. I want to be the channel that promotes being happy, being positive about not just wrestling, but about life. You hear me say at the end of our show every time, be kind to one another. And I genuinely mean it, because it's important. It's important. There is no better thing that you could do than to be kind to someone, because you just don't know who needs it, what time, you know, what they're going through. And that's what I want. And that's what I think he would want from our channel and what we do. And that's what
not to be a clout chaser, just
right.
You know,
I will never turn this channel into something negative. I know Jeff wouldn't either. And yes, negativity gets clicks, but like I said, I don't care. That's not who I am, and I could never do that. And I know the others in the channel, Jody, Jeff, and everyone else that comes on here couldn't do that either. That's just not who we are.
Yeah.
So by doing what we do, and I'm sure Wyndham wants us to, enjoy the wrestling, enjoy what we see, and move forward and just keep his spirit alive by being that light for others. And that's what I want to remember. That's what I want to do to cherish his memory.
Absolutely. Brittany.
All you guys are just my family. To be a Firefly to me, just love and acceptance, and he really did light the way for all of us, and it's like Nicole said, back when I was in school, I didn't really have, many friends either because nobody wanted to talk about wrestling. But, then my favorites back then were like Kevin Thorne and like others like that. But then Wyndham just opened like a whole new world for me. And I met all of you guys, and I feel like you're all my best friends, So.
We got matching tattoos for a reason.
Yeah. I was looking at it, I'm like, wait. Yeah. And can I share the thing about the...
Yeah.
So I get really emotional.
It's a good segue because I did ask on Twitter if any of you have had any experiences since his passing that have reminded you of him or made you feel like he was there. And Brittany has a great story.
So the day that he passed, I literally I just remember crying for like 13 hours straight. Like I got like an hour sleep, right? And didn't eat at all. I remember just sitting there in bed, just praying to him and looking up. Telling him that I missed him so damn much. And I said, please give me a sign. Please show me that you're still here with me. And then like I said, I didn't get any sleep really, and I went outside the next day, and my mom found this black feather, and from what I'm understanding, that usually means like a guardian angel is with you, or you're being watched over, good things to come. And I framed it in this picture that I drew of Wyndham, and I literally put it beside my bedside last night. And when I tell you, I felt so damn peaceful. Loved him so damn much. I went outside this morning and I saw a black crow above my car, Bella, in the tree. And I just thought, damn, another sign. And then earlier, before the show started, I found another black feather when I put out a memorial sign for him in my yard. And I actually am keeping that one in my car because Wyndham, long story short, knows how much I love my car, and I just can't help but feel like this is a sign to me that he's always with me.
Yeah, and I think God allows that.
When we had the reunion, Brittany, you're getting a very big bear hug from all of us.
Yes.
I can't fathom living a life without him.
He never left, Brittany. For him to give you 2 feathers instead of 1, for you to come across 2 feathers, he's basically saying, I'm here. I'm always here.
Me and Brittany
I'm always
had lots of conversations about that in the past few days. Actually, me and Brittany have had a lot of conversations about that since we met. And, that's why I love her so much, because when I'm feeling down, she reminds me that Bray loved me. And when she's feeling down, I remind her that Bray loves her, no matter what. And, that all of us are special to him. And, that was how we lifted each other up. If that didn't work with her, I would start telling her dirty jokes, and that would make her laugh. That's why we're the Wyndham sisters, because we used Bray to well, not used him, but he the catalyst to making us feel better when we were having a really hard time. We would just remind each other that he really loved us and he really cared about us.
It's just so crazy. I mean, after, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend back in 2019, he was really verbally abusive and everything else. And Wyndham was just there for me through the whole thing. And I just remember him messaging and, DMing, making sure I was okay. And JoJo's mom made sure I was okay. And there's never going to be anybody else like him ever again.
No. And I'm glad that, especially you, Brittany, that me and you have been able to build relationships with JoJo's mom and, kind of keep in touch with them. But I know how much that means to you. To be able to, it's almost like you still have a part of him.
Like, I hung out with this woman. It's just so crazy to me. I remember being down for a Walking Dead convention thingy in Atlanta. And I remember her texting me because I said I was at Nick and Norman's, which is down in Sonoya. And I remember her saying, "Aren't you literally like 30 minutes from Atlanta?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she was like, "Because I'm literally in Peachtree City." And I was like, "That's literally right where I'm staying." And I remember just being so damn excited, and I was like crying when I met her because Mama Lexi really is like a second mom to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good woman.
She is.
I really hope she's okay. I hope the whole family, I know they're broken right now, but they need our support. They need our support. They need all our love and prayers. They need it all.
Yeah, I've been messaging her, not with a lot of messages, but I check in with her and make sure that they're doing okay. And like I said earlier, she just said that it feels like a nightmare. And I know that Wyndham's older girls are taking this really hard. Nash and Irie, they're still pretty young. I don't think they really understand, what's going on, but I know his older girls are really taking this hard. And well, the whole family's taking it hard because, Bray just became an uncle.
Yeah.
And, they do. I told them that everybody, we're all praying for you guys and we're all here if you need anything. And, he just said, thank you so much. Then we need them. So, yeah.
And a couple ways, as we're about to get into some art here, but a couple ways to continue to support the family: buy merch from WWE Shop. They're donating the proceeds to the family. You can buy art from Brittany K. She's got information out on her social media. And I think also Jesse Callan is going to start doing some art and donating as well. So hit them up.
We do have a big thing coming if you're wanting to help them out too. That's our big announcement before we get to the art, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I am organizing a big tribute for us to do on this channel, kind of like a telethon, if you want to call it that. A long stream that people can just kind of come in and out, say something that they want to say about Bray. Any super chats will go to his family. I will let you guys know that I have been reaching out to everybody and asking if they want to participate. I know Vincent has said yes. Jed Shepard, who we've had on our show before, has said yes, that he will come on. Kyle has agreed to come on. Jesse Cage, who's one of his close friends, said he wants to see kind of where his head is at when we do it. But yeah, I've reached out to everybody that I can. I've reached out to Rob Fee. I've reached out to Sean Rossap. I've reached out to other wrestlers as well, to see if even if they can't make it on, to say something. If they're willing to record a 30-second video, just something about Bray and a memory that they have with him, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. So I hope we are going to be organizing that over the next couple of weeks. It will probably be on a weekend, I would assume, since that's when most people are going to be available. Yeah, and it'll be like a a telethon, and we'll be raising money for Wyndham's family. So that should be sad but fun.
Jeff, may I add something that happened to me this past weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That happened.
It up to we will open that the big tribute up to anybody. So the link will be public for anybody to hop in whenever they want to. And yes, please, Nicole, share your experience as well. And then we have one too.
Hold on one
So-
second, Nicole. I want to get to this real quick, and I'll go right back to you, Dan the Man. Thank you for the super chat saying thank you for this. It's a big help. Let's take care of this family.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nicole.
So this weekend, it was pretty tough for me. After watching that tribute video, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't feel like even going to the gym, but I pushed myself to go. And I went, and when I run on the track, and when I was running on the track, I felt so energetic. It felt so different from any other time that I ran. And I didn't feel worn out. I didn't feel tired within 30 minutes of running. So I personally feel that both Wyndham and Bray were there with me, running with me. It just felt and then the minute I came home, I bawled like a baby. And then I went to my boyfriend's for the weekend. The next day, after when I stayed over, I was hanging out in the back porch with our cat, and I'm looking outside. There's like a black animal right behind the bushes. At first, I thought it was a cat, so I got a better glimpse of it. Obviously, it wasn't a cat because I noticed it had a beak. Then it flew onto one of my boyfriend's trees. I went outside, didn't wear my slippers. I couldn't believe what I was walking out with my socks. I went right outside. It was a buzzard. A buzzard. My boyfriend don't have buzzards in Tom's River News. There are no buzzards. There are no buzzards at all in Jersey. All the 3 years I've been going to my boyfriend's place, never have I ever come across a buzzard until yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it's staring at me. And then I got a little closer and it flew away. And the way it's soaring, it's like it didn't disappear. It's like it wanted me to see it fly. Mm-hmm. And the first person I called was my brother. And I told my brother, James, you're not going to believe what I saw. And I told him the whole thing. And then he turns around and he says to me, he came to visit you. Mm-hmm. He's letting you know that I'm okay and you don't have to worry. And I'm always here. That made me smile. It's been for the first time in 3 days, I genuinely smiled. And it made me feel good. Like he never left. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell Brittany and I tell everybody, he's not gone. He never left. If you're getting signs from him, he never left. He's there and here. And he'll never leave your side. So on that note.
Yeah, yesterday we were watching. I've been getting Chris to watch Once Upon a Time. Mm-hmm. I love that lantern.
That's cool.
Every day. This is my routine every day. That this lantern's gonna get lit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I've been making Chris watch Once Upon a Time because he's never seen it before. And yesterday we finished watching an episode and then started the next one. And it was the episode about the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
And I just, we kind of just looked at each other and smiled.
He went up on this bike and put this little card on it that had a white rabbit.
Mm-hmm. It was like a card that was on the back of a bicycle.
That's so cool.
White rabbit. Mm-hmm. And then tell them what happened to you this morning.
So this morning I was, I've been getting up early and walking Harper to the bus in the morning and came back and was sitting outside on the patio because it was actually cool out this morning. It felt nice and sitting there on my phone and just kept thinking about Bray and stuff. And I tried watching the WWE tribute video from SmackDown again and just started crying my eyes out again. And watched that, came back inside, and Logan had just woken up. And I went to go get him a pull-up. And I came back in the living room and sat down, was waiting for him. And I was like, just happened to look down at this pull-up. And I've looked at these things every day and never noticed this before. I looked down at it. There's a firefly on his pull-up, a little drawing of a little firefly bug. I'm like, how have I never noticed that before?
Oh yeah, he's been wearing these pull-ups for years. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
It is. And I know, Joe, you mentioned one to me, and I was like, wow, good. So go ahead, man.
The night of, there was no way I was getting, but I'm a night owl anyway, but there was no way I was getting to bed early. I was just thinking about too many things. And so my dog has to go out. Normally she sleeps, I don't normally let her out that late. It had to be 2:30 in the morning. And she had to go out. So I, open the door, and our porch light's on outside, but I go out the door, and right here, I've seen fireflies before, but we don't get them around here. Very seldom do we ever get them. And I walked out, and there was literally a firefly this close to my face, right in the front. And as soon as I walked out, the light lit up, and then it just went off, and it went over kind of by the bush, and it was just kind of hovering, and then I would just see it go on and off, on and off, on and off, and then it just flew. And my dog was on the other side of the thing, and I was just stunned. I'm like, there's no explanation for that other than to think that, like Nicole said earlier, he's never left, and he's just saying that he's never left. My mom, my grandmother grew up believing that things like that, when you see, they were always saying, if you ever saw a butterfly, which are very uncommon around here too,
or a dime or a penny on the floor,
things like that. Yeah, that it was. Yeah. It was that, to this day, my mom talks about her dad saying that I saw a butterfly outside. It was Pop-Up saying hello to me. And that's, so I was just, and I texted Jeff about it, and I couldn't believe it. I have seen them prior, but never that close. And so what else could it have been?
Yeah. And I definitely, I got flooded with messages and people replying, telling me things about what happened to them. So I definitely would like to get into those next week. But I know we have a lot of art and limited time.
Yes.
One real quick thing, if I may, because I saw somebody comment on this in the chat. Please, 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 please. There are things out there right now about stuff. Like, you're going to start to see these rags and all this other stuff saying what happened and whys, and trying to give you the whys behind the what. Don't torture yourself with any of that, because I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The man is gone. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter how. None of that matters. So just don't punish yourself like that. It doesn't matter. As we were talking about in this show, he wants us to move on and to think about him and celebrate him, not worrying about what happened. Right.
So we're going to get to some art, but I wanted to pull this picture up because I love this picture.
I love that picture.
We're gonna go through some artwork as we always do. So if you're new, this is something that we do, that we've done now for a while. We showcase artwork from the community. So we're gonna get started.
And apologies if I don't remember who did all of these. What?
There's a rabbit in our yard.
There's a rabbit in our yard.
Wyatt was.
Oh my God.
The dog was just looking at a rabbit in our yard. Is it a white rabbit?
No.
No. So yeah, apologies if I don't remember who did this art, because I literally, poor Jeff, I sent him probably 50 different things. So yeah, I love this one with the rocking chair and the lantern and the face mask.
Yeah, that's
I love
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Nicole did this one.
Wow.
This is the most toughest one that I had that I created, but I want it to be something special.
I love it.
I miss him so much.
Oh no.
Now there's another one of mine.
When you told that story about them running with you, I knew that you went back and drew it, and it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, I honestly believe that they were there, and they were probably like, "Come on, Nick, keep up, keep up."
Yeah.
Especially Brody. Brody would be like, "Let's go, Feluca, let's go." Birthday, let's go, birthday twin. I miss these guys. Oh, I love that one.
That one. I don't remember who did it, but it's beautiful. You know, but they're back together now.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
probably wrestling around like brothers.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
this one was too much.
This is the one that broke me this morning.
Yeah, it's the one that broke me.
Oh. And it's special to me because the poster of that came in one of those boxes. Last time I met Wyndham, he stared at it. I had him sign it for Logan, and it's up in a frame in Logan's bedroom. And he stared at it for a good 30 seconds, like he was studying it. And he said, "Nobody's ever asked me to sign one of these."
Aww.
I may have the only one.
Yeah, we might have the only one that he's ever signed. And, he wrote to Logan and then signed his name on it. So Logan may have the only one of those that's ever been signed.
Aww.
That's a good one.
Aww.
I like that one too. It's got all the masks, fireflies around. All the puppets in the box and all the different masks. I think the rocking chair is going to kind of stay symbolic.
I love this.
Yeah, Sports Kita posted this one. I'm not quite sure who did it, but he really does have the whole world in his hands now. They posted this one too, and oh gosh.
Oh, I love that one.
This is the wallpaper on my phone right now. I love this one.
Yeah, I love that one. But Brody's just welcoming him with open arms, like, "I've been saving a seat for you, brother."
No, that's a nice one.
I love the detail on the Fiend mask. And props to Eric Russo, because I did take a lot of these from his Instagram. It's my favorite place to go get art, because I know he posts everything.
Yeah, I love following him and seeing all the new artwork.
And he always DMs them to me, which is really nice.
Oh, that artwork is incredible.
Hey, Richie, you're probably in the chat here somewhere of these 125 people that have stuck with us. I love this one. A little different for Hurdy, but yeah, I love it. The detail again is insane, even with, is it pencil, I'm guessing?
Wow, yeah, that is amazing.
Aww.
I like that one. He's like looking at the door. It's got all his characters up there. Always holding his lantern. Yeah, I love it. I liked this one because it reminded me of my tattoo that Kyle did for me. It was half Funhouse Bray, half Fiend.
Oh, I love that one.
That is the first tattoo that I ever got. Bray tattoo that I ever got. And no, second Bray tattoo I ever got. And the first tattoo that Kyle ever did for me was something similar to this on my back.
See. There's the next one.
I like that.
That's cool.
Oh, that's really good.
Different. And I've always been drawn to the kind of comic book kind of.
It kind of reminds me of Lobo. The comics.
It's almost like a steampunk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something you would see in the old, what was that? I used to read them in the 70s, heavy metal. The heavy metal magazines.
Yeah.
Wow. Love the
The
colors.
thing I loved about this one.
Ooh.
Rambling Rabbit with the help sign.
The thing I love about this is all the colors.
Yeah.
Because that's who Bray was. He was a very colorful person.
It's like he always said, he was the color red in a world full of black and white.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is Nolanium, which we all know. That is actually where Kyle drew his inspiration from when he did my tattoo. And I have one of Nolanium's pieces up on the wall in my Abbey space. But I love that. I love the cartoonish.
I love
Another
that
Nolanium
one.
piece.
Oh, wow. That reminds me of Joker.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it looks like the cover from the Batman film where they got the inspiration for that mask, or the Batman comic book,
The one where the Joker rips his skin off and wears it as a mask.
I was just looking at those.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I was just reading those about 2-3 days ago. I brought them out from the basement and was looking.
And what's funny is that before Bray Wyatt did the whole Firefly Funhouse thing, he posted as a profile picture of part of the comic strips of the Joker with his skin as his face as a mask.
The villain in that cut there's a villain in it named Professor Pig, Pyg.
Professor Pig, yes.
Yeah, and he cut the Joker's face off, literally. And then the Joker grabbed it back as Joker would do and basically got hooks and stuck the hooks in his face and put his face back on. So essentially,
it was Professor Pig who did that.
Yeah, it was Professor Pig. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
There's another Nolanium.
I love that.
Old style 60s horror comic.
I'd buy that comic book.
Style.
That's cool.
I love his style. The comic book. He's one of my favorite Bray artists.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's a cool one too.
Yep, another Nolanium piece. Like the Burnt Fiend. I like that it's slightly out of focus too.
Yeah, that's like old school horror right there.
Almost like 3D.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, another Nolanium piece.
Yeah.
He's so good at that comic book style.
I love it.
Another Nolanium piece. He drew quite a few and posted them all. When this all happened.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Jesse did that.
One.
I like that.
And it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And I like the camera shot when they did this live.
Oh, that was so good. They framed that.
It looked like Bray had wings.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
It was so beautiful. But Jesse, this is really, really good.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I've seen that one before that he did. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep, he's very talented.
Cute.
He's adorable.
I need that as a sticker. Oh my god.
It looks
That
like he's in. Looks like he's in like a Ren and Stimpy cartoon.
I was just about to say that reminds me of Ren and
No, you know what
cartoon.
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Tasmanian Devil from Looney
Yeah.
Tunes.
Yeah.
Wow,
I love this.
Oh yeah.
And-
Lolion is one of my favorite artists. I
Uh-huh.
love him.
And that's the Funhouse Bray that Kyle took that inspiration from for my tattoo. So,
Yep.
I love
Fantastic.
That Funhouse Bray.
fantastic. I love it.
Mhm.
This is
Oh.
a Rob Stromberger piece.
Oh wow.
It's an old piece, but he reposted
Yep.
it after all this happened, and you know
Buzzard.
it's fitting. No.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
No, not again. Oh, I'm gonna cry again.
Yeah. Suicidal Assassin. Another one of my favorite artists.
Kyle just posted. There will be a time and a place, but like where the design is window shade and the concept art reproduced that I have seen already.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's so cool.
I like that one.
I love that.
Yeah, so this dude, Suicidal Assassin on Instagram, did a bunch of these different comic book style ones, and they're all so amazing.
I have one of his works hanging up in my room.
Old stuff.
So cool.
There's another one.
I love that.
That's why I said, man, this character would have been fantastic in like a graphic novel comic book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. This
So
artist,
buff.
Suicidal Assassin. I'm sorry?
He's so buff. Look at him. He's a buff boy.
Yeah. This artist, Suicidal Assassin,
Yeah.
he did a request drawing for me of my character along with the Wyatt family. I have it. He's incredible. I remember when I posted it, Bray Wyatt liked the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I love that too. With Alexa in there.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
This is my next tattoo.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is my next tattoo with Kyle. I'm gonna have him do it in like with no color, since that's what he's great at, except
The
the
circle.
light, the
Right.
lantern.
Hmm.
And the
Oh,
light
okay.
lantern. But that's my next tattoo for sure. This is an old
Aw.
photograph of like is it Mark Torres? I like that one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Hmm.
Yep.
I just love that
That's
cartoon.
cool. Hmm.
Real quick, BLS, yes. Insiders Wrestling Pod at gmail.com.
Aw.
Oh, I like that.
Wow, that's cool.
Hmm.
I love that. That's everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love that one.
Hmm.
It looks like an Alanian piece, but I don't think it is.
Hmm.
But it's
very
beautiful.
similar.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Yep, it's Black Mask Design,
Hmm.
who's always done some amazing Bray pieces.
Hmm.
Um,
That's really cool.
today he has the whole world in his hands.
Hmm.
He got that picture in the bottom with all the fireflies and all the characters in the top.
Hmm.
Oh, this girl's freaking amazing.
I can't see who it is.
Mel Coleman art.
Mel Coleman.
She draws She draws a lot of AEW wrestlers. Her style is just phenomenal.
It looks like a picture.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, Sportskeeda posted this one too. That, you've got Braun and Rowan looking up at them. Because they'll always be there.
Yeah. Chanel, thank you for the super chat. Speaking of Kyle, you just tweeted something cool. Yep. Let's see. Yeah,
he tweeted out, there will be a time and a place, but eventually I'd like to share the design ideas Wyndham shared with me and the concept art we produced. This includes before and after The Fiend and after his return. I think it's valuable to know just how far down the rabbit hole it goes, and then the circle.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. They're absolutely stunning.
That's really nice picture.
that is.
Yeah, I love that one.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to I'm getting additional art. I'm gonna try to get this one in here.
I like that
I'm
one.
trying to get to my computer, but
I might be able to get it, Jeff. I might just be able to show it from my phone. Give me a second, because I think it went to our...
Hey, Jeff, can I send you something quick to put on here?
I love that picture.
Yeah.
You can leave that one up for a minute while you're doing that. Because he has such an amazing smile. You couldn't help but smile when he smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even looking at that picture, I can't help but smile. Because he just has one of those infectious smiles that are just so amazing. Oh my.
No, I can't get it, Jeff. Sorry. I thought I might be able to grab it, but I couldn't get it.
let me see. I can try to pull it up on my phone. It's really don't need to be on camera, but whatever. All right.
So, Brittany.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aww.
Alicia.
Oh,
I love it.
That's really pretty, Alicia.
So Brittany, I saw that Jesse is going to be doing what you're doing with selling the artwork to put, and all the proceeds go to Wyndham's family.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it too.
Okay.
I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't think of doing it in the beginning, but probably because my mind was just in a cloud thinking, can't believe that he's gone, but I want to join you. I want to do the same thing.
I do want to say that I've got over $1,000 so far for her, and
That's so awesome.
Great.
You are an incredible human being.
Mm-hmm.
I just
All of you are.
try to do what I think. I'm hoping that I'm making him proud, but I try to do the right thing, and
Yeah. He was always proud of you.
Yeah.
Always.
Ethan says, "Hey guys, I'm out for a walk." Thank you for the super chat, Ethan. I'm out for a walk in my neighborhood and listening to this tribute. I looked up in the sky and said, "If you're okay, give me a sign." Not even a minute later, I saw a feather in the grass.
Oh. See, I feel like we're going to be able to tell stories like this for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, listen, this is just the beginning. We're going to be getting signs from him until we're old and gray and wrinkly.
Yeah. And it'll always, that's a piece of it that we can always share on this channel. Anybody hear from Bray this week?
Yeah. Please share your stories, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when something like that happens.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little something on Raw tonight. It won't be like SmackDown, but I'm sure they'll, the SmackDown superstars and the Raw superstars were separated, so you might see. I'm sure they'll put up another tribute photo and stuff, but you might see some things happen on the show. So
Yeah.
Supposedly, Cena's going to have a tribute to him on SmackDown too, I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great! I'll be there.
Oh, you're going. That's right. You're going to SmackDown.
I don't know what to do about the day before because Tim is going to be at the park with a couple other people, and I have the loaner car for Friday, but I don't know. Maybe I could just extend it for another day. I don't know yet.
Brittany, we're gonna stay with you because I know you had something that you wanted to share, and then we'll get back to the rest of the.
Yeah, I know you're all gonna like this because nobody has ever seen this before. I've never showed any of you, including Jody. It's an Abby's Window exclusive. So you guys remember the support cards that I made like a while back?
Yeah.
You see that?
Abby.
Is that at his house?
No, it's backstage. Why does it keep doing that for?
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Backstage.
Yeah, he
Sweet.
had that happen and he like sent it to me the one day and I was like, stop.
Put it up there again, Brittany, if you don't mind.
If my phone stops doing what it was doing. Hold on. See, it's like bright. I don't know.
I see it. Aww.
Oh, that's my screen. Oh my God. What am I doing?
So that's the actual Abby's puppet. That's amazing.
Yeah. That
Okay,
is
that's
so
better.
awesome.
How cool.
That's
He's
amazing.
in a garbage can, but yeah,
That's
like
really
I
cool.
just got the picture the one day. I don't even remember if I showed Hanzo. I might have. I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever seen it.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know. That was just like the coolest thing. Like he was like here, and I was like, oh my God. So,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I still have both of those.
Good for you.
I have new support cards that I have to send out at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have both of those. I have them on like a Vera Bradley, one of those things that you put pictures in, boards. I have both of them up there.
You'll have the new one too.
Yay!
All right, here's some
Aww.
more art here. We got a few more to go.
I love the dark and light effects on that. I love
that.
bringing the WWE into it. Then, now, forever.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Exactly.
That's another black mask design, by the way. Another black
Aw.
mask design. Reunited forever. With the rocking chair.
So tragic.
Oh, I love that
That's
one.
awesome.
Oh, that's one of my
don't know who
favorites.
did this one, but I need a print of it for sure. Because it's so good.
In real time, her Richie saying, "Holy shit, just got a moth landing on my arm."
Oh.
So see,
That's another thing.
another thing. He wants us to keep this show going. No more evidence.
Yes.
Oh, so I did this edit, and that was my goodbye to him. And I put above it, I posted this picture, and I said, I stole a line from Dear John, and it said, "I'll see you soon then."
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Brittany did this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I even told you guys, but the other day, Adam Braun posted on his Instagram story that he has my other one when Brody passed hanging on his mantle.
I saw that. I was like, wow, Brittany must be flipping out.
I really want to get a version. I never even got to give the first one to Rowan. And I know he was supposed to be in North Carolina, but that's obviously going to get canceled. But I would like to get this one to Adam too, and then the original and this one to Rowan at some point.
There is
going after that bunny again. He's standing at the window staring at the bunny.
Oh, Brittany, I love
Brittany,
this.
I love this one. I love the green, like the explosion of color. It's just so good.
I love that picture of him.
I love this one too.
That one's cool.
You can add this
I love
to
the colors
list of
on
the
that
ones
one.
that I want. Add this to the ever-growing list of the ones that I
I'm
want.
gonna have to send you a box, Jody, with all these prints.
I know. But again, I love that explosion.
I
of
said,
color.
Brittany, I'll be getting a couple of your artwork. I definitely want this one.
You guys are the first to see that too, because I never even got to post this one on my Instagram or my Twitter. Because I was going to post it the day he passed, and then we got the news that he passed, and I just didn't feel it.
Yeah. I understand.
Brother Nero.
So evil.
That's hilarious.
I love the look on Bray's face.
I love it. That's
No.
so good.
I love it.
He looks so
I
great.
love this. There is an artwork. I know I made this a while ago. This one.
Hold on, let me
Oh, that's cool.
hold it up again.
Yeah.
I made this a while ago, and Braun,
Damn, that
Adam,
might be a
and
tattoo too.
see,
Kyle's gonna be.
I remember making this I think sometime last year, and both Braun and Eric Rowan commented on it, and I think Adam reposted it on his Twitter page because this represents all four of them. So when the next time if I ever come across meeting Braun or Eric Rowan, I'm gonna make a T-shirt out of this design and I'm gonna give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Awesome.
So that they'll have something that represents all four of these guys.
Yeah.
The Wyatt, you will never see a faction like the Wyatt family ever again. That's why they were so. You know why they were so good? Because it was
special.
original.
Yeah.
They were different from everything else, and that's what made the Wyatt family so spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, thank you for the super chat saying I think WWE should do QR codes every week showing moments throughout his career. Also, maybe they should do a tournament or something or a battle royal in honor of him.
They did do the QR.
I like that.
SmackDown, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was a nice touch.
I saw something on Twitter mentioned that they should do some kind of like a Bray Wyatt tournament or battle royal. I think that'd be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
That would be great. All right, folks. We'll end this episode.
Everybody
we'll
feel a little more at peace now.
Until later.
Still,
Brittany, don't be surprised.
Family came together. We talked it out. We calmed down. We, shared some amazing stories about Bray. We've now shared some, signs that he's with us and
right.
He doesn't go anywhere and he loves us and he cares about us and we've got feathers and moths and rabbits and
buzzards in Jersey.
And it's funny. The girl that I go to all the Caleb shows with, the Meatloaf shows, her name's Karen, and she was friends with Meatloaf before he passed. And every time I've gone to a concert with her, there's been something like that. We went to one concert and there was, and they call it the Bat Experience because obviously that's, Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell. And we went to a show, and before the show, we were eating dinner at the restaurant across the street from the venue, and there was a baby bat on the wall outside.
Oh,
so Meatloaf does things like that to her all the time, and I get to experience it every time I'm with her because he does it. So there's literally times that, we'll see that together and we'll just look up and go, thanks, mate. So now we can have moments like, thank you, Brittany. I knew you were going to laugh at that again. So now we can have moments like that. When we have moments like that, we can look up and go, thanks, Bray.
Mm-hmm. His mission since NXT, he all he ever wanted to do is to make the world a better place. He definitely made our world a better place because now we have each other.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
That's right. Yeah. For my final thought, I have a final few pictures to show. You guys are making me come on camera today. So this is a Fiend car.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, someone in the chat sent that to our. Who was that?
That is so cool.
BLS.
That's
is the
awesome.
Name of the, that's really cool.
So
Oh,
That,
Wow.
that's a Kyle piece.
Yeah, that's it. That's the.
Oh, I
Kyle's
have that in
cover
my
art.
Holy
I have
shit.
Yeah,
I
that
have
is that.
That
piece
is
on the
Kyle's
wall in our living
work.
room. Yep.
That is Kyle's work.
wow.
Yep, we have that piece on our wall in our living room.
Oh,
It's a little car. I love that.
Ah.
It's a car with Bray on it.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Logan would love that.
Yeah.
oh.
I have that Funko Pop. It's right up
So
Yep, me too.
I have the only painting of that has been signed by Bray Wyatt.
Mhm.
Dorsey Art gifted me a little 8x10 painting of that Funko Pop, and I had Bray sign it.
there. Aw.
My Rob Schambeckler
I have that one
Oh,
too.
that's awesome.
Burn
Yeah, that's
Fiend.
amazing.
That's really cool.
I have tons of Dorsey art all over my house.
Mhm.
Everywhere. Bray's everywhere, all over my house.
Yeah,
He
we have
is.
spray art everywhere.
Everywhere.
I got something to show you. Hold on a second.
Room.
Every room. Yeah. Almost.
So,
Mhm.
hold on a second. So this was like when I was starting to get into the Wyatt family. I don't know who the artist was, but check this out.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's
wow.
awesome.
That's watercolor painting.
wow.
Oh, that's
really cool.
awesome.
Huh.
It's awesome. So me, my father, and my brother went to this meet and greet where old school legends were there. Like I met Howard Finkel, I met Vader, I met Ted DiBiase, Honky Tonk Man. Too bad IRS wasn't there, but that's okay. But I saw this when I was starting to get into the Wyatt family, and I just had to get it. I felt bad who the artist is, but this has been up on my wall for 10 years.
Wow.
This artwork is just, I love it. Whoever the artist is, if you're watching this and you drew this, hats off to you. I love it. I'm gonna go put it back.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well,
It is cool.
Brittany and Joe, final thoughts?
If they do in their tribute to that, I'm fine right now. It's just because I'm staring at the picture with the feather. But you know, it's I'm gonna cry all over again. But you guys definitely did come with me, so I love all of you.
We
And we love you too.
We developed a family here, and I'm pretty proud of that. And Bray is proud of it too. I know he is.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, listen, when you leave this world, if you leave you leave a lasting impression on anyone, you've lived the best life you could.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to leave it with. And he left a lasting impression on a great number of people. There's still people commenting 3 days after the news about stuff, and it's just people from all walks of the earth.
I have one of my tweets that's got like 450,000 views.
That was that's like the video of me and him when his eyes got really big. Like that thing blew up. I was like,
Yeah.
every
That's
time
one of my favorite photos of you guys.
I have a screenshot. I don't know why, but I made this my cover photo a while back when he had like the big eyes. I made it my cover photo on Facebook, and everybody's like, "He looks so excited to see you," and I was like, I think I was more excited to see him. I don't know. Maybe he was more excited to see me. I don't know. Oh man, I miss
It
him.
might make you a little sad, but when you feel you can, go and find a song called "The Measure of a Man" by Elton John. It's from
The Measure of a Man.
Yeah, it's from the Rocky V soundtrack, and it's pretty much perfect.
I'll definitely give that a listen.
Yeah, it's it's really really good, really really good. So.
All right, folks. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful. to all of you and to be able to get some emotions out. Not sure who I'm echoing off of, but
Oh no.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but it sounds kind of creepy and cool,
Yeah.
which is a good way to end the show.
it's a good way to end the show.
Yeah.
Why not? We'll end it
It's
this
true.
way.
It's
So
true.
He's
thank
here.
all of you.
I wouldn't be
He's here.
surprised if this is all Wyndham's doing. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. He's probably like, "Hey guys."
Well, since that happened,
Yeah.
and
I was just thinking that.
now it's not happening anymore.
See,
So,
What
since
a
that
coincidence!
happened-
How crazy is that? My
next
God,
you're just
what is
gonna hear the don't, and the podcast is just gonna
Don't.
just poof, gone.
since that happened, though, I've got to play this as we head out. So, thank all of you so much, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.
Take care.